And so I think if you can strategically add, that's great. But I think they've got a long-term plan in place. And, if that's the case, I don't think you want to deviate significantly just for one season, which has been fun. But, I don't think you want to give away any, significant future assets for a team that, could hopefully make it through the first round.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And if you had said, what's the trade deadline plan going to be back in November or December, you probably would have been thinking you were going to see some UFA.
Look like a flea market, put everything else out there.
Yeah, exactly. You would have seen someone like Ivan Provorov or maybe some other guys even who would have been on the market. And now, this team has played to a point that that Don Waddell, the president of hockey operations and general manager, has said, this team deserves a chance to stay together and try to accomplish something with the way that they've played over the last 2 to 3 months. And so, like you said, you got to keep the long term in mind. And the long term is with so many of the young players that we've been talking about for a long time now, taking the steps they've taken this year. The future is extremely bright for this organization. So you don't want to do anything crazy or reckless that's going to ruin, what do you think that could come down the road. But when you got a team that deserves it, you want to try to help them out. And so we'll see if they can do that today.
Jeff Svoboda, Jackets Insider, joins us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Sometimes the trades a team might make during this part of the season would be with their minor league team. Are there players down in Cleveland or a player or two that you think could play a significant role in a postseason push for this team?
At this point, probably the bigger place where they would be getting help, as I said, is injured reserve. If you can get Sean Monahan and Eric Goodbranson back, and Cole Sillinger will probably be back in a couple weeks as well. That's what we've kind of seen with the guys like Boone Jenner coming off the injured reserve who've been there for a while. Those are almost like your big acquisitions, and now obviously you then have to stay healthy, which has the last couple of years been difficult at times. But that's also the sport of hockey. You see guys get hurt all the time, so. Sometimes you get a guy back and you end up losing a guy right at the same time. But, you look down at the farm we've seen, we saw Luca Del Bel-Belluz come up and play some pretty credible hockey. As long as they're healthy down the middle, I think he would probably still stay in Cleveland for the rest of the year. But if you have another injury there, he's a guy that would come up and maybe be someone who would be helpful. So I think that's probably the number one guy that I would think. We've seen – some guys kind of maybe a little bit more in the bottom of the lineup, the Mikhail Putias, and who got sent down yesterday with the waiver claim they made with Christian Fischer, Joseph Labate coming up and playing well. But I think as you look at probably the guy that I think has probably come up and because someone like a Denton Matejchuk is still here and probably not going anywhere. Of anyone that's in Cleveland right now that I think would come up and maybe be someone who could play a bigger role down the stretch, and maybe be someone like Del Bel-Belluz, but that may be fully dependent on the injury situation that we see the rest of the year.
As we talk to Jeff Svoboda, Jackets Insider, here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Jeff, the last couple of games, obviously not what they would have wanted after a nice 4-game heater they were on. Anything you've seen that's concerning? Obviously outscored pretty significantly, and the offense hasn't been there. It's kind of been, both sides of the coin. Power play couldn't get going. Is there anything you've seen in these that should be concerning, or this is, just part of maybe the natural evolution of this team where, they get hot and then lose a couple sometimes?
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how they go down the stretch here with 20 games left, because those are two of the teams that are the elite teams in the Eastern Conference. I mean, the Tampa Bay and Florida won 3 of the last 5 Stanley Cups, I believe, and so these are veteran, experienced teams that don't give you much. They play a playoff style, and now that we're this late in the season, they're really tuning it up to play playoff hockey. And so, I think the Jackets have played well against the elite teams throughout the season. We've seen them beat, just the other night they beat Dallas not that long ago. They've beaten Winnipeg, they've beaten Vegas, they've beaten Toronto. They've beaten some of the good teams that are out there. But it does get tougher this time of year, and so we'll see if they're able to tune it in and take it to that next level as well, and hang with these teams that know how to win playoff games. But, I would also say, it was kind of weird. I didn't even think they were that bad in Tampa. It was just kind of game situations where, they give up the early goals and, then they kind of right the ship and then they have another bad 10-minute stretch and they kind of get out of the game. And but they had their legs in that one, I thought. And last night it was kind of tough. They just really weren't able to generate much. And again, game situations where they give up an early goal, they give up 2 power play goals, and that's been their thing on the road this year. When they've struggled on the road, it's managing the game, and I think that's for a young team sometimes a difficult thing. You have to kind of learn game situations and when to push the pace and when you just have to get through a couple shifts without giving up a goal. And so that's something that they're still kind of continuing to learn. But what I would also say, I was talking about this last night. If you had told me coming out of the break, the first 6 games coming out of the Four Nations break, 5 of them against teams in a playoff position. If you were told me you'd be 4-2 after that stretch, I'd say that was pretty good. I would have taken that in a heartbeat. So they've survived up to this point. 2 losses are unfortunate. They got some scoreboard help last night though, and they're still in the first wild card spot. So you got 2 upcoming games on the road here against New York, the Rangers, and New Jersey. Those are huge games. You got to get something out of these next couple games. And then the schedule really favors you with a lot of home games down the stretch. So key 2 games coming up here when we get back on the bird and head to Manhattan over the weekend.
Jeff, thanks for the time. We appreciate it, bud. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
That was Jeff Svoboda, Jackets Insider, by the way, just to clear that up. They do have the 2 games here, then they have 18 games left after this 2 on the road against the Rangers and Devils. Over those 18, 11 are at home. So, yeah, that'll help them out a little bit. They've got a 3-game stretch between March 29th and April 8th. They play Ottawa 3 times. Ottawa right now is holding the number 2 wildcard spot in the East, so those will be critical games as well. All right, I don't think Ryan Day ever takes a day off, so this next guy doesn't either. Austin Ward joins us next. Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Still watching no major problems across the metro. Busy traffic though on I-71 near downtown and on 70 coming in from the east side. But again, no major problems or slowdowns for your Friday. Make it a great day. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Your old or broken phone can let you down when you need it most.
Perfect.
But at Verizon, trade in any old phone from our top brands and get the most for it, up to $2,000 in value for an amazing new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence and a new line on My Plan, and iPad and Apple Watch Series 10. That's like a 3-for-1. And you can get it on any plan. At Verizon, trade in your old phone for a brand new iPhone 16 Pro, iPad, and Apple Watch. The other guys won't give you that. Visit Verizon.com today. Additional terms apply. Service plan required for Apple Watch and iPad. Up to $2,000 value based on iPhone, iPad, and Apple Watch.
Relief from hip and back pain can be a reality when you work with the experts on a mobility and flexibility routine. That's why Stretch Lab was founded. Pro athletes and sports fans alike love Stretch Lab for our customized one-on-one assisted stretch sessions. Discover the difference a good stretch can make, because when your body moves better, you feel better and live better. Visit your local Stretch Lab today or go to stretchlab.com and use code FAN10 to get up to 50% off your first 50-minute stretch. Plus, receive an additional $10 off.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
To find an agent near you, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Bobby is known as the General. Beamer is known as Beamer. This is Morning Juice.
All right, it is Morning Juice. I'm Tito. To my right, I wanted to make him Brigadier General. He's not. He is the General Bobby Carpenter. Thanks so much for tuning in. Now we're going to go out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling hotline for this.
Considers himself the mayor of Laramie, Wyoming, who holds the shuffleboard record at the Ranger, and most impressive, the commissioner of the Central Ohio Two-Man Scramble League. Here's Austin Ward.
Now, welcome in with our guy, Mr. Austin Ward. We got a big presser today. I love the email that was sent out, Austin, by the wonderful Jerry Emig, starting at 9 or 10 o'clock, potentially 10:30. So be ready to go at 10. Be ready to go at 10, just in case. I have a question before we get to that. Yeah. Fidoff and I were talking about Dirty Dancing
Not together. Not like us dirty dancing.
Not together,
No,
but the
clarify that.
role of the father, which is, what's his name?
Jerry Orbach.
Jerry Orbach in the movie, and how people portray him as the villain. Like, he's looked at as the antagonist. And I saw this little meme on social media that said, you're a dad who takes his high school daughter, on a family vacation to a resort. There's a creepy, almost 40-year-old dancer that's trying to hook up with her, and you try to put the kibosh on that. That makes you a bad guy. Someone said that Patrick Swayze was supposed to be 25 in the movie, but he's actually 35 or 36 in real life when it was filmed. So we're going to stay with that age. You have a daughter, Austin. Where would we come down about Liberty Bibberty dating a 30-plus-year-old dude that we had just met at some sort of resort when she's in high school?
Yeah, I think if that makes you an antagonist to keep your daughter away from a unclear age, at least middle-aged person, yeah, consider me an antagonist, Bob. I feel like you would be doing the same thing for your daughter. Tito, I think you would be stopping anyone from that situation. I guess we're all just bad guys if we're going to keep the focus on the family and keeping Patrick Swayze away from our daughters.
I think the goal here is just don't take your kids out to a place like that. Creepy place, anyway. Now, look, back then, no, because you had the dancers living on site and all that. You knew what was going on there. No, just don't do that. I don't care. Go to Disney World. Austin, what's that?
Preach. Yeah. Disney World every time.
So, Austin, I'm curious about this. And I know it's way early to even speculate on this, but I want your thoughts on this. If Julian Sand wins the starting job, which I expect him to at quarterback, do you think Keen Holes will transfer?
I do not. Maybe I'll be proven wrong on that, Tito, but there are a lot of factors. I've had conversations with Lincoln Kienholz, and certainly he's welcome to change his mind. I'm not going to speak for him or make a decision for him. But I think that Ohio State has to and is spending money on a backup quarterback. So you check that box. That's not a place that I think Ohio State would be falling behind, or that Lincoln Kienholz is losing opportunities financially if he doesn't win the starting quarterback job at Ohio State. If you look at his quarterback development track, he is still, playing catch up compared to a lot of his other peers based on his multi-sport experience at high school. So that kept him from really playing and learning the game as a full-time quarterback 365 days a year until he got to Ohio State. So he's catching up in that regard, and I think that there's an awareness of that. Lincoln is a tremendous competitor, and I think he wants to win a competition desperately. But I think there is also, in the back of his mind, looking at a Joe Burrow, looking at a Devin Brown, that if you finish a third season of being taught the position at Ohio State by Ryan Day, by Chip Kelly, by Billy Fessler, by whoever, that could then springboard you in somewhere else. Whereas if he spends another 15 practices at Ohio State and then tries to go leave somewhere in late April, well, that he has to restart that process with a new offense and with new teammates and a new system. And that may be difficult for him to then become a starting quarterback somewhere else, at least at maybe the Power 4 level. And I don't think that he would have much desire to drop down to a level below that. So, again, it's early, and we don't know what these 15 practices are going to look like in spring. I don't actually think that Ohio State is all that likely to name a starting quarterback by the end of April. And part of that is how they feel about Lincoln Kienholz and maybe some reality of what the situation looks like and trying to keep everybody together until August. But I believe, and again, I could be proven wrong, that when Lincoln Kienholz made the decision to come back and compete through spring, that was with a larger 12-month calendar in mind for him.
So Ryan's going to get a chance to talk. First time, since doing a lot of the media stuff, that he'll be available publicly. I think the first time, Austin, since the post-game presser, like that following week. What is the first pressing question when Jerry points to you that will be asked?
Yeah, I think, the biggest move of the offseason is, Jim Knowles going to Penn State and Matt Patricia being brought in to replace him as the defensive coordinator. There are lots of other ones because Chip Kelly also left. Tyler Bowen came in. Billy Fessler got promoted. Brian Hartline's calling plays next season. He's the top offensive coordinator. So there's a lot of things that have happened over the last 6-7 weeks getting ready for spring camp. And so, all of that is tough to point to just one single question because Ryan Day had to face a lot of difficult decisions and make some moves over this stretch. So, big picture, what that was like dealing with that on the heels of the national championship. He stayed pretty busy. He had to come back from 5 days after winning a national championship and keep the roster together with NIL, the transfer portal, and NFL draft decisions. Then both coordinators leave. You have to make those moves. Justin Fry goes to the NFL. Got to hire 3 coaches, and Ohio State has done that. But I think of those 3, promoting Billy Fessler, bringing in Tyler Bowen, and then landing Matt Patricia. When you look at Ryan Day's likely, influence on that offensive side of the football, it then becomes, all right, what made Matt Patricia the right guy in Ryan Day's mind to be the head coach of the defense, to take the reins from Jim Knowles and keep the Silver Bullets as the number 1 defense in the country and keep Ohio State in position to compete for national championships. Because I think if when we talked about it in real time, I know that you think very highly. You have more in-person experience with Matt Patricia than most people around here. But he wasn't a name that immediately came to mind, and it was, at least from my perspective, a surprising choice. Now, that doesn't mean...
Well, it's because, Austin, James Franklin wasn't trying to interview him. That's what someone told me on social media. Since he didn't interview him, we shouldn't want to interview him. I said, well, if you want James Franklin to be the Buckeyes head coach, well, then you go right ahead, sir, and keep wishing for that, because I like the guy we got.
I think we can all agree that Ohio State doesn't need to ever do anything that James Franklin does. That would be, if they go down that path, then they have lost their way, and Ryan Day has not gone down the James Franklin path. So, but again, I'm not saying surprise does not mean that it has to be negative. I have an open mind on what that's going to look like for sure. And you look at Matt Patricia's resume, and that looks pretty darn good. So, the questions of Matt Patricia, having his introductory press conference today will be one of the more fascinating and anticipated ones we've had. But I think, what was the thought process there for Ryan Day and why Matt Patricia? I think for me, that's the number one question, and I'm looking forward to getting some of those answers today, Bob.
You see anybody wearing a WWJD bracelet, it's not what would James do, just so you guys know. I want to make sure we're clear on that one. More importantly, what question will Tim May ask, and do it in a Tim May voice?
I thought he retired.
Tim May, he never retires. Even if he retires, he's still going to be at the press conference. You know that.
That's probably true. Yeah, I don't know what he's going to do. I thought he said after the national championship game that he was ready to move on and hang him up, but I didn't think he was doing anything with Letterman Row anymore. So I guess we'll get an update on Tim May's plans today.
He also has press availability.
I've worked with Tim a couple of days recently, so here on the radio. He may be retired. He's still going to show up to stuff, though. We know that because he's Tim May. And we'll get the last question in. So, Austin, enjoy that today, buddy. We appreciate it. Thanks so much, and we will talk to you again soon.
Sounds great. See you guys.
All right, that was Austin Ward joining us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System fan guest hotline. Honestly, we hear all these guys retire in the media, but they still come back and do stuff,
Because if you like your job, it's really not work.
Right.
So I say I love doing this in the morning. Getting up, it has its challenges from day to day. But you know what? If you like what you do, man, you get to be a part of it and you get to enjoy it. And Tim loves the Buckeyes. He's been covering this thing forever here.
Forever. I told him the other day when I was on the radio, Bobby, that
he literally almost covered it when Woody was here. He missed Woody by like a year or two.
Bobby, when I was younger, when the Dispatch was an evening newspaper, and we had two newspapers in town. We had the Citizen Journal in the morning and the Dispatch in the afternoon. And I was delivering the Columbus Dispatch. I would deliver people articles on my bike that were written by Tim May. And I told him that's how old I am, and that's how much older he is. That's how long we've been around from that. So, all right, coming up next, we'll let you know what's guys Juiced, Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we do have one crash on the south side on I-71, just south of Grove City. Heading northbound on 71, the right shoulder blocked off just past London Groveport Road. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus is the place to be for all the basketball action. Watch every game at once with over 50 feet of video wall and more than 30 TVs. Endless chances to win big. Show off your jump shot in our King of the Court drawings or create your perfect bracket for a shot at Penn Cash. Enjoy food and bucket specials all tournament long. Guarantee your spot. Reserve a table now at HollywoodColumbus.com. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966. Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. You know, as much as I enjoy being a professional inventor, a few of my dream inventions still elude me.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Well, the bruiseless avocado.
Ooh.
The unlosable TV remote.
Could change the world.
And for you, Aaron, the uncloggable drain.
Get Eco.
Until you crack it, Jerry. You know our 93 or free drain clearing offer is the next best thing.
Okay. Explain yourself.
Get Eco.
Our drain team will clear your drain for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it'll stay clear for at least a year, or we will clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
We'll even send our little robot camera down there to make sure you don't have a larger problem that could cause more trouble in the future.
Get Eco.
You think your guys could bring that robot over to my place and help me find that TV remote?
I think that's impossible even for us.
Get Eco.
Eco, plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
There's a new way to surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle and Market District. Shop Giant Eagle's uncompromising quality at a reliable price with everyday savings. Look for signs throughout the store to find bargains on produce, meat, and more. Visit Giant Eagle to see how easy it is to save.
Start 2025 with significant growth and earning potential at Uline. Interview for warehouse roles at Uline's March hiring event in Etna, Ohio. Earn reliable income starting from $25 an hour with a $2 night shift increase. And get full health and retirement benefits on day one. Don't wait. Start building a long-term career at a growing company. Sign up for your warehouse interview on Saturday, March 22nd in Etna at uline.jobs. That's uline.jobs.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
This is a Craver service announcement. Stop what you're doing and get 10 cheese sliders for a new low price of just $7.99. Your choice of melty American, spicy jalapeno, or cheddar cheese. Only $7.99 for 10 cheese sliders. White Castle. Follow your crave.
Guess what? Our ugly faces are on YouTube. Search 971 The Fan and watch all your favorite shows. Laptop, phone, tablet, smart TV, we're everywhere. Bring us in the bedroom with you. Yes, The Fan.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Counting down the days until Shark's retirement. You are listening to Morning Juice.
All right, Morning Juice. Counting down the days of Shark's retirement. We've already done that. We figure out he's got 80 working days left behind.
Coach, it's not that. He's got 18 Fridays.
You're right. That's a better way to look at it. 18 Fridays.
He likes to do the big aggregate number. Who wants the whole thing?
I think he does because I think that he wants to stay here longer. I think the bigger number we put out there, I really think Shark's
we've given him
this.
the offer.
I don't think
like Shark might be here. I told you, he might be here after me.
Shark could be the Tim May. He'll retire, but still come in here in the mornings and do work and stuff.
We gave him that option.
I think he will. All right, that's what do we got now? Oh, that's right. We're going to do What's Got You Juiced.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
It's Friday. Bobby, what's got you juiced?
Good job.
You like that,
what's got
huh?
me juiced is there was a dramatic pause. You have a 50-50 shot, so it's really hard to screw it up, and but you didn't.
That's right.
So that's okay. The coin flip two-face, if that's what it takes for you to get it done, it's all good. What's got me juiced? Well, I'm back here. It's been the weekend. I enjoyed yesterday, enjoyed today. I'm excited to kind of sleep in, relax, downshift tomorrow, and move forward. Rolling in here to OSU's got their spring break. Ryan's got availability. They got spring ball starting up soon. Next week will be my last week without classes. I'll be teaching at Ohio State, so I've got that on the rise. I got to get all that situated and structured. Was out at the oil and gas convention at Easton last night, so had a delicious meal at Del Mar. It was really stinking good, and I didn't need a gluttonous amount of steak, but it was. Shark, it was really good. It was legit.
Have some garlic butter on it?
Oh, yeah, Coach. It had everything you needed on it. I was swollen up with all of the salts and meats. I mean, it was great. It was a great time. Rough news got me juicing. Dave Way, our oldest son, all the kids were like getting sick sequentially.
Right.
Like, none of them could be consecutively. It was just one kid got sick, got better, next kid, vomit train, staying home from school. And Court's not doing all that well right now, so she has been the last to contract the diseases. I'm trying to fight that off. I'm staying away. I'm washing my hands. I don't know. Maybe I got sick and just didn't even know it. But Buckeyes, we're trying to stay healthy as we've got spring break here coming up soon as well. So don't want to be getting sick while we have that.
That's the worst. You're right.
It is.
Is the whole family going?
Yeah.
To the Bahamas?
Yeah. So it'll be good.
Your third trip to the Caribbean in a month.
And so I told him we couldn't get off the boat at Nassau. I was like, well, I'll be seeing you again next week, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if the Caribbean, I mean, if they have their own residents, like their own EU, the Caribbean Union down there. But I've spent more time there. And I always thought it'd be great growing up. We didn't travel. Vacation for my family was driving to New Jersey to stay with our neighbors when we lived there, which we did like 3 or 4 times. And then I flew out to Tucson to see my uncle once, and that was the extent of our vacations. Kings Island was our vacation.
Bobby, I feel like it'd be
my
great.
kids lived the life that I dreamed of. Yeah, they got a great one.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. But I was going to say, I think the vacation would go a lot smoother if you took like one of Caleb's friends around, like somebody his age you can hang out with. Maybe
that would be fine. Listen, if Artie wants to jump in the suitcase, we can do that.
We got it on record now. Okay,
I'll throw them in there. Listen, I get 3 free carry-ons with Americans, so I mean, or checked bags, and we got a pretty big one. He'd look good. He'd be great in there.
Okay,
you could pop him out, give him some little snacks.
He'll be fine. Yeah,
he'd be really good. But yeah, my kids live the life that I dream of. It's tremendous. And we had our spring sports banquet like meeting, where expectations, they're all the same. Make sure your kids have good enough grades. Respect everybody. Don't embarrass the school or the city, and let's handle that appropriately. And so we had all that last night as well. Very busy day. So I'm excited to downshift a little bit heading into the weekend, and now we get to hear this guy.
You guys speak it from your diaphragm. Fire the cannon! It just comes from the bowels of your most inner being. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
I feel like the next one is him about all the saliva in his mouth because it sounded very moist.
Could be. You have to wait till Monday. Speaking of the Blue Jackets, they're on that 4-game road trip right now, but there is hockey this weekend at Nationwide Arena. It's the Ohio High School state tournament. Upper Arlington meets Mentor tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning in a semifinal. Golden Bears are 27-6-2 on the season. The championship game then is Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock, also at Nationwide. So let's hope we get I think we've only had one state champion in hockey from Central Ohio, and that was Dublin Jerome a few years ago. So it's always been big up north in Cleveland. It's getting big here in Central Ohio. And then the Ohio High School girls state basketball semifinals. The finals are next weekend at UD Arena in Dayton. The semifinals are this weekend, and Central Ohio is well represented. 23-3. Pickerington Central meets Rocky River Magnificat Sunday in Mansfield. That's in Division I. And then you've got Big Walnut facing undefeated Cincinnati Winton Woods in Division II Sunday in Vandalia. Division IV, undefeated Fairfield Union meets Kettering Alder tomorrow at Ohio Dominican. Yes. And then in D5, Columbus Afrocentric takes on Norwayne tomorrow in Mansfield. It's that time of year. March Madness, all that good stuff. It's not just in college basketball. It's in hockey and high school basketball as well. My 87-year-old mother, bless her heart, she fell again last weekend. Now,
who did you quit pushing her, Shark?
I didn't push her. She was down in the we put laundry facilities. We built laundry facilities off of the kitchen in a closet.
Yeah.
A stackable washer and dryer probably 5 years ago, so she wouldn't have to go to the basement anymore. But she went down there anyway, and she got dizzy coming back and fell.
Can we just lock the basement door from the inside so they can't get back down there?
So they did an MRI, and she's fallen 4 or 5 times over the last 2 or 3 years, and she usually falls on her head. But this time she fell on her back. And when they did an MRI, they discovered there was a previous fracture back there that we didn't know about. So she's in a huge amount of pain, and they've been pumping her with morphine and other things. She's in the hospital, going to be going to a rehab facility here in the next couple of days. So I get to go up to Ashland and see my 87-year-old mother.
It's almost time for spring cleanup outside, Shark.
That's right.
The yard work.
Yeah. And by the way, we are a public service station. Spring forward, fall back. We got to move the clocks up an hour.
I know.
So
we get a shorter weekend.
Yeah, that means I have to get up an hour earlier, basically, to go to church on Sunday. But at least it's going to be light out till whatever
7 o'clock now. Yeah, 7:30 down to yeah. I tell you, Shark, you went on a weird path there because usually what's got you juice has you excited, and you talked for like a minute and a half about your mom falling, breaking her hip, falling on her head, all these different things. I was like, what the hell is good about the story? You're going to see her. That's the juiced.
We talk about things that have us juice and things that don't have us.
There's negative juice. Hey, tell your mom this. I'd rather see you than view you.
That's a good one right there.
It's a Rob Carpenter original.
Is it really?
Good to see you. Better be seen than viewed.
Better be seen than viewed on that one. By the way, Bobby, I didn't get to this because he talked about the girls' state tournament. And, I don't know if they did this last year or not. I just noticed it this year, though. They used to play semifinals on Friday, Thursday, Friday, finals Saturday, all in the same big gym. Yes. Sometimes it's Shot, sometimes it's down there in Dayton, wherever it's playing it now. But now they're doing the semifinals at like high school gyms. Like tonight, they're doing semifinals, or this week, and then the games aren't until like 5 days. The championship's up to like 5 days later.
I don't know if I like that or not.
This is where you usually go off on the OHSAA, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I'm sure listen.
Why did you bring that up?
Because I want to get Bobby super juiced.
They're still going to charge top dollar.
I know they are.
They're not at the state.
I mean,
all right, Bobby. I heard when I saw that, I thought immediately of you.
Is that what has you juiced?
No, I want to get Bobby stupid. I don't like it, but because I remember the experience going down there when I used to do some of the stuff.
This is great. Like that. That's the way it should be. Why is it not? Well, they'll say it's monetary or whatever. Like you say, you're still charging me the same thing. Why don't you reach out to Doug Hute again, Shark, and see if we can have him on?
He doesn't want to talk to you.
That's
Bob.
what I'm saying. They run. I try to bring him on, explain the case. They still want to hear the real questions.
I think all state tournaments should be held in Columbus. We're smack dab in the middle of the state, and we're the state capital.
I think state wrestling starts today, too, if not mistaken. Or maybe it started yesterday, but state wrestling's going on, I think, down here. So, all right, coming up next, I'm getting out of Get What Got Me Juice because we're too much up against it, though. We'll hit you with the re-rack, though, and we'll talk to you about what's going on this weekend in college basketball. That's next. Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we're still watching a crash on 71 northbound. The right shoulder blocked off just past London Groveport Road. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Home values in Columbus are sky high, and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's time. Except for two things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Smart, right? Truehold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, or secure your retirement. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, 80% lean ground beef is on sale. 3-pound packages are only $3.99 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
No matter where you are, Coughlin is there, in store or online. CoughlinCars.com. 13 new car brands, over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles, 16 convenient locations for sales, service, and parts, plus 4 state-of-the-art collision centers. CoughlinCars.com. Shop locally owned, CoughlinCars.com. Coughlin has the car for you.
At NJM Insurance, we like to think of ourselves as a symphony. We start with the foundation of doing the right thing. Then we layer in dedicated reps whose priority is you. Add in excellent discount programs. And last, but certainly not least, we put our policyholders first. And the reason we don't use jingles or mascots is because it's just not us. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Hoops fans, are you ready to score big and get lucky this March? What's up? It's T-Bone. I'm here to tell you that Bud Light will be holding mini Hoops challenges at bars and restaurants across town over the next several weeks with one goal in mind, to send one lucky local winner to Las Vegas where they'll compete for $10,000. Take your shot at March Madness glory. This week, join Bud Light on Thursday night as they take over Pastimes New Albany on North Hamilton Road. They'll be there from 8 to 10 p.m. and they'll have a mini Hoops basketball challenge that'll give you a shot at a Vegas trip and $10,000.
A pepperoni pizza for the table.
Thank you.
May I suggest trying it with our Pepsi Zero Sugar? It has just the right amount of sweetness to complement all that cheesy, saucy goodness, while the carbonation and notes of citrus enhance the flavor profile. Simply divine.
Pepsi Zero Sugar? You've really outdone yourself this time. Pizza deserves Pepsi.
Get your furnace fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
How high is your credit card rate? With rates as low as 9.90% APR, a Visa Platinum credit card from BMI Federal Credit Union is the perfect low-rate card for your wallet. Apply today at bmifcu.org/visa.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef!
This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning, I'm Mark the Shark. After scoring 21 goals in a span of 4 games, all wins, the Blue Jackets have struggled offensively the past 2 games. On Tuesday, they scored just 2 goals in Tampa, and last night they were shut out in Florida. Columbus put just 16 shots on goal in a 3-0 loss to the Panthers. Former Blue Jacket goalie Sergei Bobrovsky stopped all 16 for his 423rd career victory. He ties Tony Esposito for 10th place on the NHL's career wins list. At the Big Ten Women's Basketball Tournament in Indianapolis, 11th-seeded Iowa upset 6th-seeded Michigan State 74-61 in a second-round game. The Hawkeyes now meet 3rd-seeded Ohio State tonight in a quarterfinal game. Tip-off will be around 9 o'clock here on The Fan. The Sports Center is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates as low as 9.9% APR with a Visa Platinum credit card. Apply at bmifcu.org/Visa.
You're listening to Rob Manfred's least favorite radio show. This is Morning Juice.
All right, Morning Juice. Tito and Bobby with you. You just heard Shark's sultry tones over there on the Sports Center update. Don't forget, later on this hour, AJ Hawk is going to join us. Always a pleasure with him. But now, let's hit a little bit of a re-rack.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, the largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard in Central Ohio. And everything you need for the master griller.
All right, Jackets lost last night 3-0 to Florida. Been outscored 9-2 the last 2 games. They're in the top card spot, still in the East. They'll take on the Rangers in New York on Sunday. Then they've got the Devils after that before coming home for a 4-game stretch. Bob. I almost said Bob Bobrovsky. That'd be a hell of a name. Sergei Bobrovsky. That's a little more Russian for you.
Let me tell you this.
Yes.
When my dad found out that Sergei Bobrovsky was Russian, it kind of crushed him.
Because he's rooting for him?
They just called him Goalie Bob.
Goalie Bob. Yeah.
Then he talked. He goes, that guy's Russian. I'm like, well, his name's Bobrovsky. It's not Bob. Like, it's just the nickname, Goalie Bob, to kind of tighten it up.
Do you have a hard time rooting for Russians?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of them.
I'm saying, like Russian athletes.
For real? Oh, yeah. Like,
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Like, they're all juice ball? Like, not the hockey guys.
Whoa.
What are you talking about? You ever seen Icarus? Like, they all, listen, an international competition, it's been well documented that they had a structured doping program.
They're the East Germans, yes.
Now, the East Germans, I'm talking, that's Cold War stuff. I'm talking like last year stuff. I mean, they couldn't participate in international competition with their flag.
It is interesting, though, Bob, that last week you were giving me grief because I said I didn't want a Russian breaking Gretzky's record. And you were like calling me a racist.
I do, because I know that you really like Russia. That's your thing. I mean, your favorite people all time. Like, there's a lot of Russians on that list. But
don't forget the Nazis.
Well, exactly.
And the Cubans.
Well, the Cubans and Russians. There's actually a lot of Russians in Cuba because they went down there and stayed. They said it had better weather, I think, so they hung out down there instead of living in the Great White North. But
Fish, if you're listening, I am staying out of this conversation.
No,
Go ahead.
Wait a minute. Do you want Gretzky's record to be broken?
Not really. I think Ovi is
He's not Russian, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying he's not Russian. I'm just saying that he's a likable guy.
He's Russian light. Russian light's what he is. He's Russian-ish.
I don't know.
He's a good kind of Russian.
Yeah, well, there are good kind of Russians. Ones that denounce Putin.
Anna Kournikova.
Yeah, well, that's not terrible either. I don't know. There's something that I've always kind of, at least I appreciate Ovi's game and what he does and how he plays. I mean, Gretzky's the best all time, but watching Gretzky is a little bit like watching Jordan to me, which is, it's more like Ovi's more like LeBron, because like he's about my age. Like, we're contemporaries. And so like watching him go, I remember sitting in college and, you know, my early year times in the NFL, like watching this guy play. And so I guess there's a greater appreciation to know that I'm 40 years old, 41, and what it feels like to do something like that. and how he's able to still go out there and play professional sports. Like, there's an unbelievable appreciation, I think, for that. And he seems like generally a good dude, and he's missing a tooth, pops his flipper out there. You know, he seems like a guy I'd like to probably get drunk with, I guess.
But
I don't, of course. I mean, there's no other answer for that than with him. I bet he drinks probably some red wine, too. He might be like Schlegs and pour the vodka in the red wine just to amp it up a little bit.
Schlegs is classy.
Take it to that next level, the Arnie Palmy, which is his favorite.
By the way, Arnold Palmer drink is way overrated. Lemonade iced tea.
How about the Arnie Palmy?
I've never had the Arnie Palmy. That's the.
You've never had the Arnie Palmy?
Is that the vodka and the wine you're talking about?
No,
what is
the
it?
Arnold Palmer is the iced tea and
lemonade. Yeah.
Or is it the lemonade and the iced tea?
It kind of depends on which way you go with it, I guess.
The Arnie Palmy, which Schlegs coined 3 years ago on the Buckeye Cruise.
Right.
We were getting served, and it was like a big group dinner for the athletes at night, and they were walking around with red wine and white wine, and one of the servers only had one at a time. And it had been like 20 minutes, and Schlegs, his red wine's almost gone, and the guy had white, and he goes, just give that to me. And he's like, no, so let me get you a fresh glass. Because he's like, don't leave, then I'll never see you again. He was just put it right on there. And the guy's like, this is white. And most people that work on cruise ships are not American, and their English is good, but maybe not great. He's like trying to explain to him, no, this is white wine. So he's like, I know that it's white wine. Put it right on there. And he's like, looked at it, and he's like, the Arnie Palmy. I go, who mixes red wine and white wine together? And then he drank it, and he told me it was good. He had about 5 of them. And then he subsequently the next day looked very rough. But I go, since then, that's the Arnie Palmy.
I have never heard that before.
Because no one else is insane enough to do it. It doesn't taste very good. Now, if you're just looking to drink whatever, then it's not bad. That's why Ovi, maybe pour that vodka in the wine to take it to that next level. You know, then that might be where you go. But no, I'm a bigger fan of Gretzky. Rothman's a bigger fan of Paulina.
He's Canadian, you know.
He is Canadian.
Not Rothman. Gretzky.
Yeah.
Gretzky. But if you're going to look on the scale on the axis of evil, I mean, the Russians in general are going to be a much higher threat level than our neighbors to the north.
Do you ever hear Norm Macdonald's?
By the way, do you know where do you think Gretzky lives, by the way? I'm sick of all these Canadians who like, oh, I'm so strong for, you know, the...
Does he live in L.A.?
I guarantee he lives in the United States.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he does, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's Dustin, his son-in-law, lives here with his daughter. I mean, you know, Paulina, you got Janet Joe. Like, these people come and then they become American. And then they tell me how much they love Canada. I go, well, if you loved it that much, why don't you stay up there? Because you know why? It's cold as hell most of the year, and it's a little bit better down here. Plus, your wife can do some illicit offshore gambling while you own the Phoenix and run the Phoenix Coyotes.
This, by the way, is what this show is, because I started to talk about Sergei Bobrovsky moving into a tie for 10th on the all-time wins list in the NHL, and it turned into Arnie Palmy's gambling offshore and how sharp is racist against Russians.
Well, we never want to leave that out. No,
I'm just saying, like, we went that far.
He's with them. That's his cover. That's his cover.
Comrade Shark over there. So, anyway, Bobrovsky...
He's going to Sochi after he retires.
Bobrovsky now has 423 wins, tied with Tony Esposito for 10th all-time. NHL trade deadline is today at 3 o'clock. We'll see if the Jackets do anything there. Ohio State women open up Big Ten play tonight about 9 o'clock against Iowa. Catch it right here on The Fan. Michigan State men beat Iowa last night, 91-84. Sparty scored 61 in the second half. They clinched the Big Ten regular season title and top seed in the conference tournament. Purdue plays Illinois tonight. Cavs in Charlotte tonight as they try to win their 13th in a row. Shark, check the show sheet for a fan poll if you're looking for one. Another hot team in the NBA is the LA Lakers. LeBron and Luka had 63 points combined. They won their 8th straight game, 113-109 against the Knicks. The first jerseys, NBA jerseys, for Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant are going up for auction, Bobby.
Like their first jersey they played in.
First one they played in.
It's amazing that, yeah.
It's and they're being sold separately, but they announced it together, though. They announced them together. But anyway, the first one is the one Jordan wore on October 5th, 1984, during a preseason game in Peoria.
Is that the sweet Chicago script on it?
Take a look here because I got a picture. Yeah, it does. It does, yeah.
See, I like those are sweet. The early Jordan with the Chicago script, that's a winner.
This is the part that surprises me. Bryant's is from an October 16th preseason game, also 1996. They think combined, and again, two separate sales. One is going up for sale, I think, this month and maybe one next month. One's March 12th and 26th being auctioned. The other one's April 10th and 24th. Jordan's is first. But they think they will fetch a combined more than $20 million.
Well, I mean, Kobe's is kind of, I mean, it's probably more valuable given the fact that he is no longer with us.
Right.
Are these signed, you said?
They're not signed. They're just the first ones. I don't know if they're signed. It doesn't say they're signed.
You could get signed. I don't think the other one you can anymore.
It'd be tough, yes.
$20 million. I guess here's the thing. Those are two big fan bases. It's two of the biggest, best players of all time, biggest brands, like of who they are. It doesn't surprise me. I mean, 20. I wouldn't pay that. But then again, I'm not allowed to have any more memorabilia because I have too much already.
That's right. I haven't checked out that Illabuck yet. You've got.
Come on over. It's sitting in the house. It's just hanging out.
I'll
pour him a drink tonight.
I'll have already stopped over when you take him to the Bahamas. The Jordan jersey though was a repurposed jersey.
What does that mean, repurposed?
It says on here that it was back then.
They had somebody else wear it.
Somebody else wore it before that. No, it was like somebody else wore it before. They said you could see like some of the stains from numbers and letters have been on there before.
That's all you need to know about what Jordan. I guess before that Bird and Magic,
right.
Like through the 80s to 90s, because when is Jordan drafted? 83. They were taking the numbers and backplates off jerseys and having other guys wear them.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Michael Jordan was some free agent scrub off the street. He was like, what, the third overall pick?
Pick of the draft, yeah.
And you can't get him a new jersey made?
Right. It's funny too, Bob, because Barkley tells a story about when he was early on in his career.
They had to wash their stuff.
He would take a shower. He would shower his jersey.
It was amazing.
Yes.
Watching Kenny Smith look at him.
Yes.
Like, you didn't have to shower. And he's like, well, that was easier because I could do it all at once.
Right. All right. Coming up next, a former guy in the NFL is verbally forcing his new team back into the league. We will talk about that next. This is Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we are watching a couple crashes impacting traffic. First, Plain City, Marysville drivers watch for restrictions on 33 eastbound. Right around 42, some slowdowns building over there due to a crash. Also, south of Easton, 270 southbound, we've got the right lane blocked off as you're nearing that 270-670 split due to a crash. Still watching an issue on 71 northbound on the south side near London Groveport Road. And we've got crews slightly blocking the ramp from 315 southbound to 70 westbound downtown. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
Next on Metro's Nada Yada Island podcast.
I almost fainted when the 4 new bombshells arrived. 4 free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G phones at Metro.
No way.
And finding out the 4th line is free. Oh, things got heated.
That's wild. Join Metro and get 4 free Samsung 5G phones. Only at Metro.
Plus tax. Bring 4 numbers and an ID and sign up for any Metro Flex plan. Not available currently at T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days.
At Diamonds Direct, we believe luxury is an experience and not a price tag. Luxury is expert guidance. It's the selection of 10 jewelry stores under one roof. It's saving time on endless comparison shopping, and you'll only find this experience at Diamonds Direct. Our luxury showroom has it all backed by our lifetime warranties and our signature best price guarantee. Diamonds Direct is the perfect combination of luxury and value, so you don't ever have to compromise. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at masheterford.net. Thanks.
Are you turning 65? Are you looking for Medicare Advantage coverage? Great news! The Ohio State Health Systems and Mount Carmel Health Systems are in our provider network. Aetna has Medicare Advantage plans that include prescription drug coverage with a $0 monthly plan premium. Plus, the plans include benefits like dental, vision, and hearing. Call Aetna today at 1-888-76-AETNA to learn more. One of our licensed agents will answer your call. Call today, 1-888-76-AETNA. Aetna Medicare is an HMO PPO plan with a Medicare contract. Our D-SNPs also have contracts with state Medicaid programs. Enrollment in our plans depends on contract renewal. Plan features and availability may vary by service area. Participating healthcare providers are independent contractors and are neither agents nor employees of Aetna. The availability of any particular provider cannot be guaranteed, and provider network composition is subject to change. Other physicians, providers are available in our network.
Bands are us when dreams don't get in. Bands are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Bands are us when dreams don't get in. Bands are us.
Much like a vampire, we need to be invited into your house. But once we're in, we never leave. Listen to The Fan on your Alexa or Google Home smart speaker. Just say play 97.1 The Fan and prepare to be amazed. Do it now.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy and cold out there today with a few afternoon showers, high around 45. Tonight, lows in the 30s, along with a snow flurry or two. Sunshine tomorrow, high of 42. Our long-range forecast models show that we could be getting up near 70 degrees by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. If this show made a scented candle, it would smell like bad coffee, unwashed jockstrap, and grass clippings.
I wasn't sure how you take your coffee.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
So, mouth or enema?
All right, Morning Juice. Tito, Bobby Carpenter. Mark to start with you. Beamer off doing Beamer things. Did we say he was on a fishing trip? Is this a beach trip, kid trip, family trip?
It's a golf trip, I believe.
Golf trip.
Yeah. Right. Get a little golf in.
With the newly svelte Brandon Beam?
I mean, we're leaning down.
Here's the biggest question, honestly. Shark, I want you to chime in also.
What if he's lost any power off his drive?
He probably has. Who's fatter right now, me or Beam? Be honest.
I don't like to use the word fat.
Okay.
Do you want to, like, what do you say? Because here's the thing. I always tell people, like, well, I weigh this. I don't care what you
Beamer's lost a lot of weight. I heard like 60 pounds on this Awaken 180 thing. Yeah, we've had a lot of success with people here at the Fan on it.
He's lost a ton of weight. I go, but
Not a ton. Just
60 pounds.
60.
Okay.
He didn't have a ton to lose. He did have a lot, but it wasn't quite a ton.
Okay.
But this, I was like, the mirror will tell you everything. Like, screw the scale.
I've got a clown mirror. I mean, like the mirror from the circus.
That's good. So you just kind of have to step back.
I've got a huge butt
forward.
and a really skinny waist.
That's good.
Okay. You guys both avoided the question.
I think you weigh less than Beamer still.
I'd have to see you both with your shirts off.
All right, hang on. Oh, well, not now.
Nobody else needs to see that, though. If Shark's going to volunteer to fall on that sword.
That's good for Shark, man. By the way, fits right in with the narrative Bobby has for you. You ask us for something like that.
You would do that right before you eat those Roosters wings? Really build up your appetite? Mouth will be watering. It'll be perfect.
I got a flat belly.
Yeah, Bieber's doing great, it sounds like. I haven't seen him for a while, but yeah, I've lost 60 pounds. Good for him. I'm afraid to ask this question, Bobby, because I don't know if you're biased or not.
What do you mean? Everybody's got inherent biases. It's called life's experiences.
I know that, Bobby. But are you a Belichick fan or not?
I think Bill Belichick is the smartest football coach that I've ever been around.
Okay. So your dad played when he was on the staff.
Yeah. And I got a chance to play for him.
Right.
Bill is incredibly, incredibly intelligent.
So the reason I bring that up is I'm Mike Lombardi, the GM now for North Carolina, where Bill Belichick is the coach. He has referred to this North Carolina as the 33rd NFL team.
Yeah.
That's what he called it. He called it the 33rd NFL team. And so, which is kind of a big thing to say, but just, if you on the surface.
It's great for branding for the kids.
It is. But I'm saying, like, on the surface, so it sounds like, oh, you think you could be in the NFL and compete. But it's not really what they're saying. They're saying like the way they're going to run the program is like an NFL team. They have pads on right now. There's no off-season workout rules in the NFL and things like that. I'm sorry. There's no off-season workout rules right now in college. No preseason practice rules.
Yeah, there are. You can have 15 spring practices. That's a rule.
Okay, but North Carolina is going to run their program like an NFL team is what he's saying.
Yeah.
So I'm curious now. Mike Lombardi, former NFL GM. Belichick, obviously, most successful NFL coach in history in terms of Super Bowls and during his reign at New England. I want Belichick. I don't want any middle ground. I want them to be great or terrible.
Well, what do you define as great?
I define as great. Make the CFP within 2 years. I
would say they'll be in competition for the CFP. You get an auto bid from the ACC, especially if you expand it to 14 teams.
Right.
Could you be one of the top three? I think their goal would be one of the top 3 teams in the ACC, which should get you in that conversation to be able to get in. That would not surprise me. Now, I don't know if they'll ever be a legitimate national title contender, and some of that comes down to situation and resources and their commitment to winning with what they're going to try to do. But I would say I would say there's a much better probability of them winning 10 games than them consistently winning like 4 or 5.
So, speaking of that, then, how about when the college football playoff expands? It's going to expand to 14, probably 16.
By the way, people won't talk about, will Bill be able to recruit?
Yeah.
I mean, he brought in, I know we get the 6th year, the COVID years and all this stuff, but, for him to pull in that 24, 25-year-old, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's very good. You're right. Yes.
I don't know how much eligibility she's got left, but.
Did you see the picture of him last week? He was at a North Carolina basketball game.
Yeah.
And he was sound asleep. And it was a video, and his girlfriend is sitting next to him, apparently with one of her friends, and she's just chatting away, and Bill is sound asleep at the basketball game.
It's great.
Guy needs a nap.
Yeah, of course he does. How long do you think he stays there, Bobby?
I think 3 to 5.
I think 3 to 5.
Yeah, somewhere in there. I think he won't leave until he believes they're good and in a good spot.
And his son.
Did you see what he's doing now, what they did, like with their jerseys and everything?
Oh, yeah. Names and numbers off of them?
No names, no numbers, and all that. And what's interesting about it, when I saw it, and he has a little speech like, we're not about what color wristbands we're going to wear and this and that. And all these things, he's like, it's about, the color of the uniform and this. And it's some truth. And so you like de-recruit guys a little bit, and you come in and, and you indoctrinate and ingratiate them into the group. But one of the other things, the reasons he did that is, so when I was in New England, and I don't know if they did this every year or not, I'll have to ask Ebner about it, but during OTAs, like, you would wear your practice jersey everywhere I've been.
Mm-hmm.
And usually the defense is, well, in Dallas, because like our primary jersey was white, so the offense wore white, defense wore blue. A lot of times the offense will get the color jersey, defense will wear the white. But I think in New England, I think I wore blue there too. But anyway, that was once the season started. We get to OTAs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, where's my jersey? And Bill comes in and he's like, you need to learn. We got to communicate out here. You got to be able to talk to the guys around you. That means learn their name, not, hey, 18, this and that. So we wore just our T-shirts. The offense had blue T-shirts. We wore gray T-shirts with a helmet. And you would have to call people. It's like, you need to learn their names.
Huh.
And when you expand a roster, like in the NFL, you go from 53 to, in the offseason, you blew it up to 90.
Right.
And a lot of young guys, free agents. He's like, we're going to learn everybody's name and we're going to be able to communicate. It's not, hey, you, this and that's such and such. This is what we're doing. And it's honestly one of the best things ever, because guys are like, they didn't get the check. I go, what did you say his name? He goes, what do you mean? I'm like, I remember I think I was maybe talking to Lathan about it. I'm like, before you make a check, like if you're talking to Caleb, say his name.
Yeah.
And they'll be more adept to hear that than you just like, check blue, check blue. Hey, Caleb, check blue. Like, look over, eye contact, and then say their name, because you say their name, they'll turn and address you. It's like, man, it was a really astute idea, especially when it's loud and everything else, because when it's practice, it's not as hard. It's not as essential because you can just yell stuff in the air and everybody hears it. But it's like if you're talking to someone that you don't think got it, say their name. That will get their attention. It's like, that is pretty smart.
It's smart, but I would think that'd be absolute hell, though, trying to learn all those names.
Well, I mean, that off, like, if you don't care about people's names, then you don't care about people.
Now, you see, that's going to bother me.
It should bother you.
Because I have a terrible...
you in the bad human
listen, I have terrible remembering people. Heather gets so mad at me when somebody walks up to me that, I say, hey, what's going on, brother? Something like that. I use the brother thing, or hey, man, how you been? That kind of thing.
Chief,
hey, yeah, how you doing?
Chief.
And then the person will walk away. I'll say to my wife, I'll say, who was that?
Well, that happens to me a lot. But
but that's okay. So you see, that's what I'm saying.
That's also not someone that you show up and work with every day.
That's true. I get it. But you also have, like you said, the roster of 90 and all that. All those people there, the coach, everyone around there.
Tom Brady went up and introduced himself to every single guy that would come in and out of that locker room. We'd cut a guy, bring a new dude in.
Yeah.
Tom would go up and introduce himself.
I ask Artie sometimes, Artie, whose dad is that? What's that kid's dad?
Of course.
Your
son's probably smarter than you.
That could very well be. I'll take that as a compliment, by the way. But yeah, so I just think that even the coach, though, because the coaches obviously have to.
Well, that's the thing on film. You would have to. It would be hard to figure out who was who.
Right.
You're watching, like, looking at who is this, who's that, like. All right. There was always easy because I had long hair, so it was coming out. So,
sure, yeah.
You could see
that's it right there, yeah.
Yeah. It would be hard to, you have to kind of know by the way they ran, like who's in the series. Oh, I was in with him.
Right.
So it was a big deal. But I thought it was really ingenious.
It is smart. I agree. It is smart to do it. It's a smart way to build team camaraderie and just, because if you have to know someone's name, you've got to know them a little bit at least. You got to be able to
learn something about them. Tress, when we were here with Tress, we would take and it was the get out of running based upon your score. The better you scored, the less you had to run. You would pair up with a teammate. He would give us a list of 1 to 99 with all the double numbers in there and everything. And it would say, fill this out. Name, high school, and like what town it was in. And I was no joke.
Tressel made you do that?
Yeah.
The same Tressel who called me Ice, right?
He's never even met you.
He met me right before we were on the air. He called me Ice.
Yeah, because he was Rothman and Ice. I mean, the fact he just didn't call you Chief.
I just find it.
He at least listened.
If he would have called me Chief or brother, I would have appreciated it. I'd been fine with that. But he called me Ice. But I'm going to let it go. I've moved past that. It was 2 years ago. Coming up next, we're going to be joined by A.J. Hawk, the former NFL great, next on the Bryant Heating Cooling System Fan Guest Hotline. Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Friday. A heads up to drivers coming in from the Marysville, Plain City area. 33 eastbound is very slow right around that 42 exit because of a crash with some lane closures in place. Also slow on the east side near Easton, 270 southbound. We've got the right lane blocked off just past Easton Way, and traffic slow moving this morning. 71 northbound also still watching a crash near Grove City. Watch for the right shoulder block near London Groveport Road. And then downtown drivers 315 southbound to 70 westbound. We've got a disabled vehicle blocking that ramp. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Empower. Nick bought a new guitar, a 62 American Classic Electric. Does he know how to play? No. But Nick's Empower investment account has performed well. He got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. This is a really, really, really good guitar solo.
Michelle Smallman here. Do you want to be at the draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin? Travel Wisconsin is sending 10 lucky fans and a guest to the draft. Experience the thrill of the draft firsthand and make memories that will last a lifetime. Don't wait. Enter Travel Wisconsin's Dream Draft Sweepstakes. Visit travelwisconsin.com/draft to learn how you can win a trip to experience the biggest moment of the offseason. Epic moments that become lifelong memories are waiting to be discovered across Wisconsin. Terms and conditions apply.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education, and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Bobby played football for Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. Beamer played football for a drunk named Joe who worked at the gas station. You're listening to Morning Juice.
All right, Morning Juice. This time on Fridays, you know what we do. We have a blast with our buddy.
A man with many career achievements. Leading tackler in Centerville football history. Leading tackler in Green Bay Packers history. Still afraid of Larry Knopfsinger. And the crowning achievement, the third member of the Island Boys, A.J. Hawk.
Sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. Use promo code JustSports for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
Thanks so much. AJ Hawk joining us now on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System Fan Guest Hotline. AJ, good morning, my friend. Thank you for taking the time, as you always do, to join us here on Morning Juice. I'm curious, what is Aaron Rodgers going to do? Because I'm sure you know, right?
I have no idea. That's a great question, though. I mean, with all the stuff going on around, like the last week, I guess, I don't know. I mean, we hear the Giants are definitely interested in him, with possibly the Raiders. There's a couple different options. I don't know. Like, I really wonder, like, what that looks like behind the scenes. I haven't asked him about it, really, like, what his plans are. But I've said for a long time now, like, I think he should play. I think he will play. I don't know where that might be, but I think he still can do it, and especially how he ended last season. Finally, I feel like he was healthy and ended the season very well, and that definitely got him, I think, excited about continuing to play.
So, you know, I've always been an adamant defender of Aaron, like haters, because playing against him, knowing how good he was, you got to see it every day in practice. And, you know, he obviously, as you get old, I mean, AJ's freaking our age, still running around out there on the field in the NFL. So obviously, you know, your physical skills diminished somewhat in his ability to move after torn Achilles, and maybe it'll actually get a little better this year, more time removed, but can't maybe run like he used to. But in your mind, like, can he still play at a high level?
Yeah, I think he absolutely can. And I mean, I guess someone was talking yesterday about like his stats from last year. His stats are pretty good. Now I know those could be deceiving at times, but I think he absolutely can. And I think when you look at like the back half of their season, the last 3 or 4 games, I haven't completely studied all of them, but I know he definitely looked like he was as healthy as he had been all year. Looked like he was having fun. He can definitely still throw it, Bob. Like, you know, you watch what's so crazy, obviously, with Aaron. And you played against him in games, and I got to see him in practice for 9 straight years, and then watching the sidelines as he would just move the ball up and down the field. Like, his quick release and his decision-making is crazy, and I think that's always going to be there. Like, we know that he sees things like a step or two before everybody else on the field, but he has that crazy quick release, kind of like unorthodox feet at different times. Like, he can be opened up, his hips can be square to the sideline, somehow throw the ball back across his body like a complete dime on a rope, where he can float it and do those layered throws, as you like to hear people talk about on TV. He can kind of do it all, and I think he still definitely has it. Yeah, he might not be able to move like he could when he was 25, but I still think he has plenty left to move around and to buy time and to scramble and get some of those huge first downs that he's kind of known for doing. Breaking defenses back all of a sudden 3rd and 6, and he scrambles for 7.
Which position group in the NFL has a greater percentage of, I don't want to say weird people, but kind of not even prima donnas. Like Aaron Rodgers is quirky, I would say, with some of the things he does and says. We know wide receivers are always like things with like the way Antonio Brown was, Ocho Cinco, things like that. Which one is a higher percentage, you think, quarterbacks or wide receivers?
Oh man, that's a good question. I mean, they're all weird in their own way, I guess. And weird is an absolute compliment, especially in my house. Like, I know when my little boys, I've taught them, like, they say, "Oh, you're a weirdo." I said, "Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I don't want to be normal. I don't want to be basic and average." And so now my kids will say, "Oh, you're so normal," like to each other, to try to, slander them, try to make them feel bad. So I think we want that. Like, Ax, my youngest, told me today, like, "Yeah, you're so normal. You're so basic." I'm like, all right, we're gonna fight, buddy. Like, we don't want that. So I think when you look at the positions, though, yeah, quarterbacks are on their own little island. Like, it's such a unique position, and they're asked to do so much. I mean, I've said a lot. I think it's the hardest position in all of professional sports, no matter where you are, like what the quarterback has to do and how he's able to affect the game. But yeah, they're all like, Bob knows, like, think of D linemen. Like, D linemen have their own, the D lineman room, no matter what level you're at, high school, college, the NFL, that D lineman meeting room, like, is going to be the loudest room for sure. They're going to be having the most fun. They're also going to complain a lot, just like the O-linemen are. They love, like, misery loves company. They like to sit there and talk about how terrible practice might be. Like, it's such a unique, fun group, I think, when you put a football team together. But quarterbacks, yeah, because they're kind of like isolated. It's just that quarterback meeting room has 2 or 3 quarterbacks in there, and one guy is obviously the starter. It's just it's a very unique situation. It takes a special guy, I think, to be a leader, and leaders take all, there's not one right way, I think, to lead a football team, and Aaron does a great job of it, but he's definitely out there. I mean, what do you call him? Eclectic? I don't know, unique?
Yeah, that's a better word.
You could use, yeah.
By the way, I gave you 2 choices, and you still got the wrong answer. The answer is former Ohio State linebackers, but go ahead, Bobby.
Oh.
Well, that's special. Being weirdo's good, AJ. I mean, that's, we had the combine. I remember sitting there talking about people, the pictures we draw, and Matt Millen showing you some of the pictures his son would draw of phallic objects and different things. Like, I mean, it's just trying to have fun, trying to spice it up a little. And a guy who always kept it spicy, I just saw this, Age. Pac-Man Jones talking about how he was so smart. And I played with Pac in Dallas. You got a chance to play with him in Cincy. And I said Pac is an intelligent player. He may not always do the brightest things, but I would say he's a pretty smart guy. And he said he was so smart that he never used his own urine for a drug test. Did you ever pee for him in Cincinnati?
I never peed for anybody else. No, I definitely peed for myself every time. But I did see Pac-Man. I mean, you got to love and respect Pac-Man's, like, honesty with everything and how open he is. And it is true. Like, Pac-Man legit is a very smart dude, and especially, like, when it came to football, Bob, like, that dude is practicing every day. He's holding guys accountable. But I guess that's just, like, it's an old school mentality where you just figure it out. Like, he doesn't have to ask anybody. Probably, just figure it out. If he knows, hey, I probably shouldn't be using my own urine if they surprise me for this drug test I'm taking. I got to find a way. And I guess he was just being resourceful. I don't know if he's named whose pee he was using, but yeah, that was, and especially, like, I don't know about anywhere else, but I know wherever I was getting drug tested, that dude is standing right next to you, like, standing there like he's the home plate umpire calling balls and strikes. There's no getting around it. Like, you're not fooling the guys that I was around, so I give Pac even more credit.
So that's what I can't. When you said that, I started to think, I thought you guys had pretty strict rules, like, about it. I'm not sure how you would pull that off. And does that mean you're
not as smart as Pac that often?
Maybe I'm not then. Okay, but did he carry around a bottle of urine with him everywhere he went in case he got, like, hey, we're drug testing you now, come on in? Like, is that what you had?
I don't know. You'd have to ask. I guess you'd have to ask them, because I know, isn't there a whole thing about, like, the temperature of it and all that stuff? And if it's too diluted, they make you go again. There's all kind of rules they have, but different places where the testers were more strict than others. I mean, with me, it's so awkward. They're always they're right on you. Like, I remember I got tested at my house. They showed up in the off season to test me, and I had, like, 3 really young kids at the time, and they wouldn't leave I probably told the story. They wouldn't leave the bathroom. Like, I was like, hey, I told the guy, I'm like, hey, I'm just telling you, like, my kids, they think this is weird. A grown-up, this old guy who came over to the house.
They're 2 grown-ups going in the bathroom together.
Yeah, he wants me to pee in front of them. They're not old enough to understand. They explained this whole situation. My wife was out of town, so there was 3 of my kids, this drug tester guy, and me just packed into my bathroom, and then they're sitting there pouring it. They pee between, put equally in 2 different cups, sealing it. And the guy was very nice, trying to explain to my young kids exactly what he was doing, but they're probably still traumatized now.
I would say, as long as your urine doesn't come back testing positive for R. Kelly, you should be okay.
Yeah, that's key. Well, I mean, they see some of that. They would see some of that in the house with age too, and him and Laura, the different things that happen. Well, just the exchange of fluid, like, there's all kinds of stuff. Because I'm with you, H. I would have him meet me at the Woody Hayes, Because I'm like, I'm not having you jammed into my half bath on the first floor. Just me and you in here together with, like you said, my kids walking around and a whole lot of weirdness ensuing. Because that's a whole another deal of why you had to explain all that. I'm glad, hopefully, I mean, who was that? Lennon and probably Hendricks were the oldest at the time. So
Lennon Hendricks is dead. Yeah, and they were young. They're trying to pull his like instruments off the table, whatever. They always have like a whole tray of stuff that they have.
Of little eyedroppers dripping on each other.
Yeah, it had to be a tough deal for him. I got tested in a stall at a lobby at a New York hotel where I had to walk into a crowded bathroom and the dude had to go and stand there. And I was like,
did he tap underneath the stall for you?
Yeah, this looks very illegal. It's like illegal, isn't it? And I can't really make an announcement in the bathroom. Don't worry, guys. I play football. They're just testing my team, making sure I'm not on steroids.
That old line. Oh, AJ, it's always a pleasure, buddy. I appreciate it, man. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend. We'll talk again next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
That was AJ Hawk joining us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System fan guest hotline.
The real worry is, like, if he's like, I'll just go in the stall beside, you can just slide it through the glory hole and we'll watch it from there. You know, I'm telling you, the dudes come to it's so weird, man. It is getting watched when you pee, like literally from tip into glass is awkward enough. But in a locker room setting, you kind of justify it because there's just a lot of dudes walking around and like you're all naked all the time. Right. But when in your home, when like your kids are like, why is this dude going into the bathroom with you?
I'll tell you, I would be so mad that someone's there doing that with me that I would take my time. I go to the smallest bath in my house. And
sometimes I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I'd eat a ton of asparagus.
I would do that. And you know what else I do? I just sit there and I pull out a magazine. I don't have to go yet. Let's hang out for a little bit here, pal.
Believe me, we had guys, we get tested during camp, and they hit a bunch of dudes right before camp. And guys would have to wake up first thing in the morning, and they start peeing. He's like, hey, I got a crap, too. And then they would just
stay there?
Dude, they'd sit down. I'm telling you.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm like, what are you doing over there? He goes, dude, I got to go. I'm like, this is amazing.
That's going to be the worst job in NFL history, right?
I would think. I can't imagine much worse. What are you? That's what we... I think we had called him the
pee collector and poop watcher.
We wanted the ball watcher. So I'm like, I'm a ball watcher.
We got to go to break. Coming up next, we'll reel our fan poll. Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Friday. We are still watching slowdowns on 33 eastbound near Plain City. We've got a crash just past that 42 exit that has traffic slow moving and a couple lanes closed. We're also looking at crews clearing up an issue south of Easton on 270 southbound. We've got the right lane blocked over there. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Scott the Scots here. How did the grass feel when it woke up from winter? A little crabby. Get it? Crabgrass? Right now, there's a short window of time to apply Scott's Turf Builder Halt's Crabgrass Preventer. It stops crabgrass before it invades and feeds your lawn for a fast green up after winter.
Save up to $20 today at the Home Depot or Lowe's for Scott's day-long saving time. Offers valid March 6th through 19th. See store for full details and product selection.
That's the sound of a Mountain Dew. And that's you enjoying its refreshing citrus kick. That's a cool breeze suddenly whistling through your hair.
Whoa!
That's you realizing you're now on a mountain.
This is epic!
That's you stating the obvious. That's you stepping up to the plate. That's you winning your kickball game.
Yes! Let's go!
That's you taking another sip of your... Do the do.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived, the only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
Next on Metro's Nada Yada Island podcast.
I almost fainted when the 4 new bombshells arrived. 4 free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G phones at Metro.
No way.
And finding out the 4th line is free. Oh, things got heated.
That's wild. Join Metro and get 4 free Samsung 5G phones. Only at Metro.
plus tax. Bring 4 numbers and an ID and sign up for any MetroFlex plan. Not available currently at T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days.
Hoops fans, are you ready to score big and get lucky this March? What's up? It's T-Bone. I'm here to tell you that Bud Light will be holding mini hoops challenges at bars and restaurants across town over the next several weeks with one goal in mind, to send one lucky local winner to Las Vegas where they'll compete for $10,000. Take your shot at March Madness glory. This week, join Bud Light on Thursday night as they take over Pastimes New Albany on North Hamilton Road. They'll be there from 8 to 10 p.m. and they'll have a mini hoops basketball challenge that'll give you a shot at a Vegas trip and $10,000.
For 100 years, our passionate Atlas Butler has been helping people. From those who have relied on us for years to those who call us for the first time. For our team, their families, and our community, Atlas Butler is here to keep Central Ohio safe and comfortable with trusted, convenient service. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Remember how that little girl in Poltergeist was in the TV? Yeah? Well, she's actually dead now. It's quite sad. Anyway, watch your favorite fan shows on your TV by subscribing to us on YouTube. Search 971 The Fan. Do it now.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text KING to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text KING to 42424. That's KING to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Just a couple of dudes being guys.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
All right, Morning Juice, final segment of the program for Bishop Friends comes up here next. And been an interesting show, let's say that. But we got our
fun. It was a Friday show.
It was a Friday show.
Fast Fridays.
Right. Yes. Caster Connection brings you our fan poll. Bobby, the Cavs play tonight and then again on Sunday. Will their winning streak still be alive after the weekend?
Who do they play?
Let's see. That would take too much research. They're in Charlotte tonight. We know that for sure. They'll win that game, right? Shark, who do they play on a Sunday? Or am I looking up myself?
Milwaukee. If you'd look at my poll, you would see it.
You put it up so late, I didn't have time to really look at it, see where we're at on this. But
such a bad question that you gave me.
No, you see, why don't you collaborate with me on the poll?
I'm your producer, not your babysitter.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, what do you think, Shark? Will it still be alive?
I'm going to say yes.
I'll say yes.
I think it will be as well. And so far, yes has every single vote.
They're going to get a nice victory for Austin Carr leading into his birthday, Sharky.
There you go. You can do that too. Bobby, I was going to ask you this. I was going to do this as a poll question, but I'm going to ask you this because I saw that Dave Roberts is negotiating.
Have you ever had to take a dump in front of another person?
Have I ever
with
had
them
to?
Looking at you?
I think where they can see me, not where they're looking at me.
Yeah,
like somebody staring at me while I'm doing it.
Okay.
When I was in basic training, yes, there was open out there.
Open John.
Yeah, it was
I'm
open out there.
talking about another person actively looking at you.
I don't believe so.
Because I can't. I mean, I haven't. Thankfully, I never was in that situation.
To look at me or just have someone look at you?
No, like where you're taking the drug test, and I said you're peeing in the cup. It's like I got to go number 2 now. And the dude's like, all right. I'm like, and like some of my teammates like, all right, and you hear him sit down. I'm like, this is ridiculous. You're watching somebody take a dump now. This is we're crossing the Rubicon. Like it's one thing to pee in a cup.
Our relationship just changed.
So that's what I don't know if I said that on air. It's like I used to eat a ton of asparagus the night before.
Yeah, you did say
because they would sit there, and when you put it in like a little tiny cup, and that thing, too, I remember when they'd have them at Ohio State because I hated it. You get drug tested. I got drug tested 3 times there. I know guys who got drug tested like once for NCAA drug tests, which was for steroids. And so, I mean, I was 21. We'd have them Friday morning at like 6 o'clock.
Right.
Dude, I would eat a bunch of asparagus the night before, go out, drink a ton, come back in. I mean, it looked like motor oil coming out of there, and it smelled twice as bad. And they would just sit it, I'd put it, and it'd sit in the cup. And so while you're doing this, you have to fill out all these papers. It's like going to the damn BMV. Like you're sitting there back and forth, and meanwhile, you just have a frothy cup of urine sitting right beside you. And so, like, if that has a pungent smell to it, it's going to burn the nostrils.
I'm going to apologize right now to Bishop and Friends that this is what's going to lead into your show.
This is great content right here. This is the stuff that people,
content.
This is the stuff that people want to hear about.
I would say if you get somebody out of the bathroom, tell them you got to take a number 5. Two twos and a 1. But that'll probably get them out of there. But again, Bo, I apologize if you're listening. I apologize is how we're leading into your show here momentarily.
Sit there and do this. Like guys vividly remember all of the drug tests because it just, number one, you feel like you're in prison when it's happening. Like the violation that's occurring. Because like people like where else would you have to do you get no privacy?
That's true. That's true.
I mean, there's someone staring at you, watching a stream, leave your person and go right into a cup.
This is the most uncomfortable I've ever felt on radio. Shark,
well, you want to feel
more
you
going to say something.
You can watch it.
I've never done number 2 in front of anybody.
Okay.
How about on somebody?
So that's
number. I think I've only been drug tested once, and I think it was here.
Did you pass?
I must have. I'm employed.
Tested positive for osteoporosis, probably.
Did we do that here?
I believe I was. Yeah, I think I was drug tested. Yeah.
What was her name? Tawny.
Tawny. Yeah, Tawny was the HR. Yes, I remember Tawny. Yeah. I don't know if she's still here. She's not here anymore.
She's not.
She was with the dispatch. I remember when I got hired at the dispatch. I had to do the same thing. I had to go pee in a cup somewhere.
I think she fired you twice.
Once. I think just once. Yeah.
I thought once from the paper and once from the radio.
No, I left the paper on my own. But anyway, a funny story about this, okay? This is how, I'll tell you the story now. When I got let go from the fan, okay? I was talking to Jay about a couple things I had coming up, string beam.
Yeah.
And he's like, just hold off on that for right now. Let me just get back to you on that or whatever, whatever it is. And then I left for the day, left for a while. He said, hey, can you come back in here? I'm going to sit down and talk to you around 3 o'clock or so. I said, yeah, that's fine. I'll come back in. I don't mind. Whatever. I get there at 3 o'clock, park out there, that Kroger parking lot.
On Friday?
I'm walking in.
That's the worst.
And I see Tawny walking in too. We're walking in together. Like we've known each other. I say, Tawny. She said, hey. I said,
it's amazing your executioner actually walks you in.
Because Tawny never came to the radio station. She was here at the TV station.
I looked at her. I said, you're here for the 3 o'clock meeting? And she said, yeah. I said, oh, this can't be good.
You know what I just would have said? Thanks, Tawny.
Yeah.
Send me my 2 weeks and I'll head back to the car.
We walk up together. We go get in the elevator. Walk in together. Get up the elevator together. Walk into the meeting room together where Jay's already there. I'm like, well, I guess this is it, huh, folks? Like I knew right away. It wasn't a promotion.
It's like the red wedding in Game of Thrones. Like you think you're there for, hey, it's going to be a nice little meeting, and the next thing you realize you're there for your own funeral.
Just so you know, I got a text from somebody that said nothing like driving to work, eating breakfast, and hearing the phrase "frothy cup of urine."
Oh, it would be. It'd have a nice head. It'd have a nice head on it, man. It would be good.
So, for those of you keeping score at home, we have spent the last segment talking about bowel functions, urinary incidents, and me getting fired by Tawny. Well, by Jay, I guess. By String Beans one did. It wasn't really Tawny, but I liked Tawny. She was nice.
Yeah.
Just, she fired me. Anyway, Bobby, big plans for the weekend? Sleep.
Get some nap time, man. Yeah. I don't think we have anything else. This is before, like, the start of spring sports.
We have the kids with basketball on Saturday.
Yeah, but that's a 45-minute game indoors.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's it. I'm pretty excited about that.
Last game of the season for them. I got that. Shark, how about you? You got big plans for your...
I'm going to Ashland.
Oh, that's right. That's what you're juiced about. I totally forgot about that. That's why you're juiced, because you're going to see your mom. I hope she's doing very well. When's your yard work weekend?
Probably about the middle of April. Yep.
I despise yard work.
Can't believe you haven't forced your parents out of their home yet.
I can't get them out, Bob.
What are you talking about?
I can't make them sell their house and move into assisted living.
Next time you push your mom down the stairs again, make sure it's something that she can't get out of the assisted living.
Believe me, I've got 4 siblings, and all of us know they need to be out of that house, but we can't physically pick them up and move.
Yeah, you can't just quit doing everything for them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so they'll either leave on their own accord or they'll be leaving horizontally. Those are you said you need them out of the house.
Bobby, don't kill off his parents right now.
I'm trying to free up Shark's weekends in retirement. All he did was complain in the summer about mowing grass and doing yard work. I live in a condo. I don't have any of this. I have to drive to Ashland to do it for my mom and dad.
He is going to be way busy. Look, I promise you, folks, Monday will be if you're eating breakfast Monday on your way into work, it will be a much smoother drive, I promise you. I'm here with Bobby again on Monday. Shark is back on Monday as well. Thank you to all of our guests today. And make sure you root for the Buckeyes. They get the Ohio State women play tonight. That action right here on the Fan starts at 8:45-ish. For the Ohio State-Iowa game, Ohio State and Indiana, big game tomorrow. That'll have major implications where Ohio State gets seeded in the Big Ten tournament. That's it for us. Coming up next, Bishop and Friends, 97.1 The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and a happy Friday to you. Watch for slowdowns on 33 eastbound coming in from the Plain City, Marysville area. We've got a crash right around that 42 exit that has a couple lanes closed and traffic slow moving on 33 eastbound. Also on 270 southbound, just south of Easton. Still watching crews clear out a crash, blocking that right shoulder as you approach the 270-670 split. Make it a great day and a great weekend. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Men, this is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. The one you love is the light of your life. And if you're like most of us, you want to do whatever you can to nurture your relationship. But if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction, you know the impacts the condition is likely having on you and your partner. ED is a relationship destroyer. It can contribute to depression, distancing, conflicts, and even breakups and divorce. And what's so disturbing about this is that most men who suffer with ED can be successfully treated, but a lot of guys don't seek treatment when they should. At Tri-State Men's Health, we have protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases. In fact, if you're like most guys, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and maybe find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. So call Tri-State Men's Health today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the tri-state area to serve you.
At NJM Insurance, we're like a symphony. It all starts by doing the right thing. Add in dedicated reps and put policyholders first. But no jingles or mascots because it's just not us. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Start 2025 with significant growth and earning potential at Uline. Interview for warehouse roles at Uline's March hiring event in Etna, Ohio. Earn reliable income starting from $25 an hour with a $2 night shift increase. And get full health and retirement benefits on day one. Don't wait. Start building a long-term career at a growing company. Sign up for your warehouse interview on Saturday, March 22nd in Etna at uline.jobs. That's uline.jobs.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HindererMotorCompany.com.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
This is the White Castle Call of the Crave, and it can happen anytime, even right now. So for a limited time, go get your hands on crispy shrimp nibblers. Only at White Castle. Follow your crave. Limited time only.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever for a single line. Just $45 per month when you bring your phone, which is less than you spend on Too Tired to Cook takeout every week. Get one line on Unlimited Welcome for $45 per month with AutoPay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Columbus Verizon store by April 2nd to save. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on Unlimited Welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Something amazing is happening in data management. Even though storage needs are constantly changing, companies are only paying for what they need now. That's because CDW customized a Pure Storage Evergreen One SLA-driven storage as a service solution that delivers enterprise-grade hybrid cloud storage that is effortless, efficient, and evergreen. Simplify storage administration with Pure Storage and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/purestorage.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came packed to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.